Another day, another MultiVersus leak it seems, so let's jump right into this one. So generally I don't like to make a new video this soon after making a half-hour long video. The last MultiVersus leak update video I put up only less than 24 hours ago. Just seems like I should give that video some breathing room and give everyone a chance to actually watch it and catch up with all the leaks. However, something happened that I have to talk about, and I want to get this information out to you guys as quickly as possible. But if you haven't caught up with my last two MultiVersus datamine leak videos, I strongly suggest you watch those two videos first and get caught up with all the datamine stuff. My last video updates us on all the datamine stuff that's happened in the closed alpha. I won't be repeating all the leaks and all the character speculation from those videos here, but I will be referring to a lot of that stuff I've talked about in those videos as well, so I'm not repeating it, and I'm going to be referring to it. So I strongly suggest you watch those two videos before watching this one and get all caught up. And of course, as always, potential spoiler warning for MultiVersus in this video. And anything talked about here is not guaranteed to happen, no matter how certain we seem of a leak. Anything can change behind the scenes, so don't count on any characters happening for MultiVersus for sure. Alright, so like I said, generally I wouldn't make another leak and speculation video so soon after my last one. Usually I give it some time. But something really interesting happened last night. The original Reddit leaker for MultiVersus returned and posted something new once again. So MultiVersus was actually first heard about as a leak. It leaked as a Reddit post by a user going by the name of HugeLeakerActually. This leak was posted way back in like October, November of last year, well before MultiVersus was revealed officially. And it fairly accurately described MultiVersus, a Smash Bros-like platform fighter game featuring Warner Brothers IPs, intellectual properties, with a strong focus on a tag team 2v2 mechanic system. That original Reddit leak even mentioned some of the characters we've seen in the game, like Shaggy, Batman, and Tom and Jerry. Plus, it specifically talks about the Ultra Instinct Shaggy meme, which is exactly what we got from Shaggy in MultiVersus. So I don't think there's any doubt HugeLeakerActually does in fact have some real information about MultiVersus. Or at least their first Reddit leak was in fact actual information about the game. However, conversely, a lot of the characters they claimed we haven't seen yet, and evidence of several of them hasn't even been found in the datamines for the game. Characters like Fred Flintstone, Mad Max, and Johnny Bravo. Plus, they also even got some things totally wrong in that original leak, like saying the game was being made by NetherRealm. MultiVersus is not made by NetherRealm, it's being made by Player First Games. So I'm just presenting the facts to you, and I'll leave it up to you to decide how much you trust what HugeLeakerActually is saying here. Personally, I think he's got enough stuff correct that we should listen to him, though maybe not bank on 100% of the things that he's saying actually happening. Their original leak did happen before we even knew MultiVersus existed at all. So that, to me, at least confirms that they have some credibility for sure here, and it's probably worth taking note of what they're saying. Okay, so last night they finally posted another leak about MultiVersus. So let's take a look at their newest leak. Once again, it's the same user posting over on Reddit. Posted by HugeLeakerActually, new leak for MultiVersus. And they wrote, "Hello again everyone, I'm back with some new MultiVersus leaks. You may recall that I'm the person who originally leaked the game. You can check my post history. I said I'd be back closer to release with more information, so I'll share some new information now. Just a note, the datamine characters are mostly accurate, so I won't be elaborating on them much. Particularly these characters below I know are mostly finished. Joker, Raven, Gizmo, Marvin the Martian, LeBron James, Rick, Morty, Scooby-Doo, Daenerys, the Hound, Wicked Witch, Godzilla." Alright, so all the characters on that list are part of the datamine list of fighters we've compiled in this image here. HugeLeakerActually goes on to say, "I know more have been datamined by players, but I can only confirm the above as of right now. You may recall I leaked a few more characters in my initial post as well. Most of these are still coming, including Johnny Bravo. Johnny Bravo, he was in the initial pitch and had work done. He will come eventually. Fred Flintstone, from the Flintstones. Mad Max is on hold last I heard, not sure if it was an IP-related issue. Same with Harry Potter, who is definitely on hold. Not sure if any development was ever even done." So the characters they claimed in their first post, Johnny Bravo and Fred Flintstone, they are still backing them and believe they will show up in the game. However, now Mad Max may be on hold, and it might be some IP negotiation issue. Same with Harry Potter characters, which they mentioned might have negotiation issues in their original leak, posted back like last year. So I guess we can add Mad Max to the Harry Potter tier of characters that might have some issues currently getting them in the game. They're on hold, I guess. Then they go on to say, "Here's a few more characters I can confirm that are very likely to be coming. Samurai Jack, the Powerpuff Girls, all as one fighter, the Animaniacs, also all one fighter as far as they're aware, Duck Dodgers / Daffy, Scorpion, Ben 10, Ted Lasso. That's all for now. We'll hold off on more information until I feel comfortable. Wow, okay, so that's an exciting list of characters right there. And very interesting that the Powerpuff Girls and the Animaniacs might be a 3-in-1 fighter, if they are indeed happening like HugeLeakerActually is claiming here. Also interesting, they wrote Duck Dodgers / Daffy. I'm curious if Daffy will have a primarily Duck Dodgers look and moveset, or if Duck Dodgers is just a confirmed alternate costume for Daffy, or what they meant by posting both of those names here. And probably the strangest of all is Ted Lasso. Never in a million years would I have guessed Ted might be a character in this game. Though in a game that already has Arya Stark fighting Bugs Bunny, and supposedly LeBron James is on the way, we really can't at all be shocked about anyone showing up here. Also, Ted Lasso is from Apple TV+, so Ted would be similar to Eleven from Stranger Things, who's a Netflix series character. Ted would be the first Apple TV Plus character. But the devs have said the game isn't limiting itself to just Warner Brothers stuff, so again, we really need to be prepared for anything to happen with this game. Now, a lot of the other characters HugeLeakerActually is listed here does line up with some of the stuff we know. Tony Hyun, the game director of MultiVersus, has tweeted out about a few of these franchises, like Samurai Jack, Powerpuff Girls, and Ben 10. And he's also mentioned Mortal Kombat. Plus, there's plenty of other reasons to expect a Mortal Kombat character will show up here eventually, like characters making Mortal Kombat references in their lines of dialogue, and just the fact Warner Brothers owns Midway, making a Mortal Kombat character seem pretty likely to me. And as for Animaniacs, we recently discovered a WB water tower stage in the data mine for the game. And is there really a more perfect stage for the Animaniacs than the water tower? If the water tower is being used here, it would make a lot of sense for the Animaniacs to be happening as well. Alright, so here's the new updated MultiVersus character leaks image. We have the officially revealed roster on the top, the characters that we found evidence towards becoming playable listed on the bottom left. Some of these characters are also being backed by HugeLeakerActually as well, so that's like the datamine characters, but there's some crossover with HugeLeakerActually's information. Plus the 3 original characters we found in the game's code. They were discovered through data mining. And then on the bottom right, we have the characters HugeLeakerActually is saying are coming to the game, but we haven't found any evidence towards them in the data mines yet. And then below that, the 3 characters HugeLeakerActually has mentioned but says are on hold because there might be some issues negotiating for those intellectual properties, something with the rights or something like that. That's Mad Max and the Harry Potter characters. In the comment section to the new HugeLeakerActually post, they also mentioned Gandalf has been done for a while. However, they also wrote, Gandalf, as far as I was aware, is still in the game. That being said, there is a chance the rights issues got in the way. The Tolkien estate is not easy to deal with. As for Static Shock and other characters referenced in voice lines, a lot of lines are recorded for characters being actively discussed, Static being one of them. However, I don't have as much solid info on him as the others I shared here. My NetherRealm sources say he's in Injustice 3 though, so there's that. Pretty cool about Static Shock in Injustice 3, if that's true, but what HugeLeakerActually is saying about Gandalf is somewhat concerning. Gandalf, along with Rick, had a whole moveset in the datamine code for the game, so he seemed like he'll get revealed pretty soon. But maybe there's some licensing issue holding him back here. I really hope Gandalf does get in the game because he's a potential main for me. Anyway, speaking of Gandalf having an entire moveset in the game's code that we found in the data mine, I talked about this in my last video, and I talked about a bunch of the cool stuff that was written in that code for their moveset. And I also talked about how Rick had an entire moveset and talked about a bunch of the things in their moveset code that was interesting. Well, it turns out there's one other character that also has a moveset in the code that I missed. That character is apparently Godzilla. Some of the interesting things written in the code for their moveset include Seismic Core, Seismic Reactor, Tail Sweep, Stomp Attack, Lob Attack, Spawn Building, Breath Attack. And also, I guess supposedly they might use the legendary look for Godzilla as the default costume. Makes sense as those movies are the current iteration of Godzilla. And of course, since Godzilla has a moveset in the code, that implies he's further along than we thought. So let's swap something around here in our leaked character roster image thing here. Let's move Godzilla up among the other characters with the most code and having lots of evidence towards them in the data mine. The characters that seem to have been worked on a lot at this point. Alright, well that's basically everything. Decide how much stock you put into HugeLeakerActually's new Reddit leak. Personally, I think because they were able to give some accurate information about MultiVersus before it was officially revealed, what they're saying here is at least worth keeping in mind. So once again, here's a full look at where we're at with the character leaks for MultiVersus. That's a huge list of characters we could be getting. Regardless of how many of these actually happen in the end, I'm super excited that this game has such a massive pool of characters as possibilities for what we might get down the road. And I love that character speculation is back in full swing right now. Again, super excited for the future of this game. Okay, well that's pretty much everything for today. The closed alpha ends at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time later today, So if you're in the closed alpha and you haven't already, try to get to Battle Pass Tier 29 and Tier 30. So you can grab the Alpha Taz icon and the Alpha Tester banner icon, so you can show those off later that you were part of the closed alpha. Those are the only two things that you can gain in the Battle Pass that are going to carry over into your account into the actual launch of the game. And if you haven't gotten into the closed alpha, the open beta is happening in July, so we can all play some MultiVersus in about a month. And then lastly, I heard a rumor you can get characters to spawn in with alternate costumes, not unlockable in the closed alpha, if you go into the lab and select random. I guess sometimes it might spawn your character with an alt costume you otherwise can't get right now. This totally works. I got Serial Pharrell Training Suit Arya, and we got Moon Monster Madness Velma as one of the computer characters here. So yeah, give that a try. It actually works. I'm playing as Arya here in a costume that isn't supposed to be in the closed alpha build, so it does work. Anyway, while the closed alpha is still going on, feel free to give it a try. Obviously, the chances are random what character and costume spawn, but it's fun to keep re-rolling as a random fighter and see what alternate costumes show up. Alright, well that's everything I wanted to talk about in today's video. The MultiVersus leaks just keep rolling out, and I'm super excited to speculate about characters for this game once again. If you have any thoughts or comments about any of the stuff I talked about in today's video, leave them below.
Remember to like the video, leave a comment in the section below, and subscribe to PapaGenos!
Twitter, Patreon, Discord, Twitch.